Sudhar sir, have you joined? Sir Muralidharan sir, have you joined, sir?
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Muralidharan. I have joined. Hello, Dr. Hegde.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. So, good evening to all the participants, principal and coordinator, and respectable our chief guest lecturer, Mr. Muralidharan. All of you, a very good evening to one and all present here. So, I am Nagarajan, civil engineering professor of Shakti Polytechnic College. So I am very happy by giving this opportunity to introduce the guest lecturer, Mr. Muralidharan, for this session. So with this, I want to introduce rapidly the profile of Mr. N.G. Muralidharan, who is the resource person for this session. Sir, I welcome you, sir, for this session. So welcome all participants. With this, I am giving you some brief introduction about Muralidharan, sir. So, N.G. Muralidharan, sir, is named as Muralidharan Nanda Govindarajulu. So, basically, he started his diploma in civil engineering studies at Tyagarajar Polytechnic College, Salem, and he completed his graduation at Madras University. So after that, he's having a vast experience of 35 years in the field experience, starting from junior engineer to CEO. At the beginning, he started a career with an architect, MS Mukesh Associates, for the year 1985 to 86, 2 years worked there. Then again, he worked for 7 years in Dalmia Cements Limited. So at different levels for 7 years in 1986 to 1993. And after that, he worked in NEPC Macon, so for laying windmill projects across the India for 2 years, so 1993 to 96. So after that, he worked in Hindustan Motors, CK Birla Group. Now it is named as Caterpillars Private Limited. He worked there for 5 years. So 1996 to 2000, he worked there. Then again, he worked in Ramco Cements Limited for 4 years. In ready-mix concrete plant, he worked there. So from 2000 to 2003. Again, he worked with MS Chettinad Builders, so Chettinad Group company, heading the division for 3 years, and established ready-mix concrete plant at Chennai, Coimbatore, and Kakinada, and created brand in RMC business 2003 to 2007. Again, then after that, he worked as a senior vice president technical at Lawberge India Limited. He's the first employee India ready mix business. So the company is 180 years old French company, world #1 building materials company, later acquired Indian operations by Nuvoco Vistas Corporation Limited, responsible for country 13 years in various functions, heading the safety, operations, performance, maintenance, projects and technical and executive committee of the business. Part of care team in doing due diligence in acquiring L&T RMC business. So then he joined as CEO for Aztec, ACETECH Group, Aztec Group, and set up modern technology recycling plant at Chennai to handle construction debris and garden waste produced by Chennai Corporation. So earlier project report submitted by IIT Madras 2020-21, 2 years work there. In 2021, he became an industrial consultant and entrepreneur, working as promoter cum India distributor of structural waterproofing for Lifetime, manufactured by Red Concrete, Australia, also exporting cementitious material and iron oxide pigments and spices for Europe, Middle East countries. He was having awarded different recognition, awarded by different recognition by different agencies. In 2015, appreciation from Labarge for bag concrete project, being first of its kind in the world. In 2016, SRM University recognized by contribution to industry on safety and construction. In 2019, IIT Madras Indian Concrete Institute appointed as Executive Committee member for 3 years. In 2019, Tyagarajar Polytechnic College appointed as academic board member for 3 years. In 2021, Tyagarajar Polytechnic College appointed him an industrial mentor for 2 years. So with this introduction, so I complete my introduction. Then now I request the guest lecturer, Mr. Muralidharan, to deliver his lecture on ready-mix concrete. He is having vast experience in ready-mix concrete, top to bottom, and whatever the features available in ready-mix concrete. So he is the right person to deliver this lecture. We are happy to introduce. We are happy to ask him to deliver this lecture. So I hand over the session to Muralidharan sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Nagarajan, and good afternoon, all the friends who are.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes.
Sir?
Yes, I can able to hear you. Is it audible from my side? Hello? Nagarajan,
audible, sir.
Okay.
Audible, sir. Audible, sir.
So please give me the rights. I will start my presentation.
Okay, sir. You can start now. Session is handed over to you. Now you can start.
Okay, good afternoon once again. So thanks Nagarajan for a brief introduction. As he has already mentioned, I'm having a distributor for an Australian product, structural waterproofing company, and also doing import and export of cementitious material across the Europe countries. In addition to that, in IIT Madras. So let me straight away go to the topics. In today's topic, I will be engaging with you all till 5:15. Whatever questions that you come across, please make a note of it. So end of the session, I will cover all those doubts that you have. In today's topic, I will be covering on safety of ready-mix business, which include on layout preparation of plant, mobile equipment selection, and job site challenges, material handling, training part, and VFL for the management team. Apart from that, in equipment side, I will cover briefly about what are all the batching plant types available, truck mixer challenges, concrete pump available for different applications in the construction industry, and what are all the different raw material currently being used for the production of concrete, and what are all the challenges in the quality of concrete, and different types of concrete. And end of the session, we'll conclude what is the takeaway from this entire program. So basically, the concrete, when it started, it was a hand mixed concrete. It was completely volumetric. When you do the volumetric, there are kind of maintaining the logbook and maintaining the control on the mix, and controlling the water cement ratio, and even the progress of work. It is highly challenging. And I remember way forward about 30 years back, when we do a project, the project itself duration goes for about 2 years. Nowadays, the same project is being completed in 6 months' time. So the biggest change, or the technology improved in the construction industry, is introduction of ready-mix concrete business in India. Way forward in early 2000, ready-mix concrete introduced in the country. That point of time, we had a challenge on imposing of excise duty and tax for production of ready-mix concrete. Being in the beginning of the career, we have approached the government to see that to ensure that this industry progress and improve and establish across all the projects in the country. Government later considered its importance and removed the excise duty. Of course, the tax part is still continuing. This is how the transformation took place from hand mixed concrete to the conventional concrete and to the ready mixed concrete. In the hand mixed concrete, you have a lot of limitations when you are doing high grade concrete and also using those admixtures, which is very, very challenging. So that those things are getting resolved in the ready mix concrete. Let me go through in detail. Let me cover the safety of ready mix business, which is very, very important. Being a qualified safety personnel, and this business has got very, very challenging job, since it is faster in construction and need to be secured in the ready mix plant on all the safety parameters. I want to briefly highlight what are all the safety things to be followed in any ready mix plant. Right from planning, as a civil engineer, we are all in this working group, civil engineers. Plan is very important. Basically, the circulation plan, which covers how you are laying out the plant layout, how you utilize your office and the moving space and other equipment. This is very, very important. And how the truck reversing and things are taken care to avoid incidents within the batching plant. The importance of reverse parking. Loader has frequent forward and reversing movement that can cause incident in the plant. So we need to have a dedicated parking, and loader path movement has to be specified. In a short while, I am going to go through a typical layout plan so that you can understand what exactly I am trying to say. And of course, the truck washing system is important for environment point of it, and how two different system is being followed in the industry. I am going to brief you. And in any ready mix plant, weighbridge is very important. I will brief you about in detail as the slide comes. And pedestrian segregation is important, and generator is basically needed for backup when the continuous production is being taken place. So this is a typical arrangement of a recycling plant. On environment point of view, when you set up any ready mix plant, you need to ensure that the truck washing is properly taken care within the plant premises. If you see this particular presentation, it has different stages. The first stage, there is a wash pit. The wash pit, whatever the truck comes after delivering the concrete, come back to the ready mix plant. It flushes out the water from a truck mixer, and later it goes through the reception pond number 1, where you can see here, and it flows through gravity. This will have a small ramp wherein the whatever water collected, it goes to the reception pond. Later from there it goes to the settlement pond and goes to the recycling pond, which is almost to minus 3.5 meter depth. And whatever the reception pond, the sludge collected, it is moved to the drying pond, which is pond number 4. And whatever the surplus water is still there, it goes to the recycling pond. This is a world standard typical washing pit arrangement in AD ready mix plant, by which we can able to recycle the water, recycle the aggregate, and try to use it back in the production. This is not only protecting environment and also reusing the recycled material in the ready mix plant. This is a conventional way of doing it in wherever you have adequate spaces available. If not, there is a mechanized truck washing system available with the manufacturers. So wherein you can see this hopper where the discharge take place, and this drum segregates the aggregate and the recycled water, and this being done. And if you see the circulation plant which I was mentioning, it is a typical layout of a batching plant. So as you Nagaraj, you can see my cursor, right? Hello, Nagaraj?
Yes, sir, we can see.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah. So as you see, this particular plant, there is an entry. You can see the different marking has been done in the blue color, which shows the truck mixer movement, how it happens in the plant. And the red color shows how the raw material trucks like aggregate, sand, and other things come inside, go through the weighbridge, and deliver to the bins and return back and get exit from the plant. And the green line shows how the loader movement take place within the batching plant, and shows the operation of feeding the material to the batching plant. If you see overall, there is a cross movement of trucks, and the raw material truck is not happening, which is very important for the safety and safe operations of ready mix plant. In this plant, you can see there is a separate hash to mark. This is the pedestrian move, where people will be making a move as they enter separate wicket gate and get into the batching area. And what you see in the front is the administrative building and laboratory building in the ground floor. First floor is the office and conference room in the office. All these things segregated from the plant activities so that people are not exposed to the safety situation. And if you see chain of silos organized, and this is the batching plant area. So I am going to show you a detailed picture as the thing moves. This is a set of conveyor and dedicated parking for the truck mixers, dedicated parking for the loader movement, and there is a workshop also in the backside. So these are all the areas dedicated for the generator, and this is the transformer yard where we will be doing all the electrical power receiving for the operations of the plant. Behind the office building, we have curing tanks, etc. So the real picture of this particular layout I'll be showing in a short while. You can understand how nicely this has been built. And this is a typical RMC plant wherein you have all the features and safety part is taken care. In any ready mix business, the weighbridges play a very, very important role. There are different type of weighbridges being operated in the country. Where you have adequate space, you can use the pitless type. There are pit type weighbridges also available, which is very important for the raw material management. I will talk more about that when it comes to the raw material management. Coming to safety of batching plant, so mixer is the important part of the batching plant, where we always follow a Lototo system. Lototo means lockout, tag out, and try out. We have developed a prisoner key system wherein people cannot enter into the mixer area without proper mechanical disconnect, electrical disconnect, and lockout system, so that people are not injured, people are not killed. I can tell you guys, within the mixer, across the country, across the world, there are many people have died. So this portion is very, very important. This locking system is very important to see that people are not killed. Similarly, for the skip bucket area, I am going to show some of the pictures in a short while, where we use the limit switch and see that people are protected from access and secured from moving parts. In the belt conveyor, there are certain moving parts like tail pulley, head pulley, and where these are all the critical areas. Before even you realize the speed of the equipment, you realize you are being pulled or getting caught through the mobile equipments. You realize within that time, the few fraction of second, you can be pulled inside and you can be killed. So that is why this tail pulley and head pulley guarding is very important. There are British standards available to take care of that, which need to be taken care. And to safeguard people, we use the pull card switches to stop the equipment. And even the grease points are being taken outside the guarding so that people are not exposed to the moving equipments. And guarding is very important. In fact, for guarding standard, I used to make a presentation for a few hours how guarding has to be done for different mobile equipments. There is a separate standard, and I'm not covering in detail. I'm going to highlight guarding is important. In terms of loading hopper, the access platform and grills are very important. If you don't do so, if there is any clog of material, people can be killed. And startup alarm is very important. Many local ready-mix players do not pay attention to this. If there is no startup alarm, people may not be knowing when the plant is going to be operated by the watcher. It can get caught during the plant movement. So startup alarm is very important. And guarding, there is a separate British standard which covers about the guarding of ready-mix plant, which covers about the close guarding, then fencing, and also the moving parts, how it can be secured. There is a very good standard available for that. And also there are underground water tanks being provided in any ready-mix plant to see that water is stored. It's a confined space. Its safety is also very, very important. So this is a typical picture. I'm just showing you how important the moving parts should not be accessed even by a finger. That is a typical example I want to show you. So the guarding has to be so close, even the fingers cannot move or get access to the moving parts. That's what I am trying to say, being a guarding. Coming to safety of mobile equipments. When I say mobile equipment in a ready-mix plant, it involves TM. TM means the truck mixer, which carries the concrete. Loader is the front-end loader. In common, they call it as a JCB. Passenger car vehicles are being used for people movement and manager movement and pump crew movements. So we need to take care of the safety of the vehicle. And the towing vehicles are being used for the concrete pumps. So these are all comes under mobile equipment. Of course, concrete pump itself is another mobile equipment. In terms of truck mixer, so for safety side, we use GPS system. In the GPS system installed in the truck mixer, we connect it to the engine to monitor the speed of the vehicle. So we ensure that the truck mixer do not travel more than 45 kilometers. You get an alarm message to the manager, and wherein these statistics get tracked and then dealt with the driver, so that we can avoid incidents. So the GPS tracking system includes the control of speed, reckless driving, harsh braking, and sudden acceleration. Harsh braking happens in a road junction. If he is trying to jump on the signal, he does harsh braking. So this is an indication about the behavior of the driver. Sudden acceleration happens in a job site when the vehicle is bogged down. They are trying to excess accelerate. There are chances of having accident on that. So that is why we need to deal with the customer on access road to the truck mixers. So that is why sudden acceleration also being tracked. In addition to that, for safety features in a mobile equipment, we used to have a reverse alarm, rear view mirror, so that we know who is coming and deal with the traffic, because when we are doing at 45 kilometer speed maximum, there are be lot of overturning vehicles. We need to be very careful. SUPD and RUPD is nothing but side under protection device. In this picture of the truck mixer, you can see the reflected mark. This is called the side under protection device. I have come across many accidents involved in many investigations. People are getting trapped between the wheels and they are getting killed. So these are all the fittings not available in the standard truck mixers. This should be an attachment to be done to see that we safeguard the public. And RUPD is the rear under protection device. You can see in the second picture in the back. If you don't do that, there are many occasions people don't have the reflectors. They come and hit the transmitters in the back, get killed. So that is why we are providing this rear under protection device. And all these truck mixers, the 3-point seat belt is important. So 3-point contact means you will have two points already fixed. Another third point, you come and fix it, and you get secured in the truck mixer, whether you are driving or you are driving in the as a passenger in a passenger car. So normally this 3-point contact is being suggested to see that you are not killed when there is a sudden break or sudden accident take place. You are not killed. So that is why this is emphasized. And restriction of passengers in the passenger vehicle as per RTO norms. If it is saying that you cannot travel more than 5 people in a car, you should not do more than that. Even in the road, the front end loader also, we insist on the safety features about the what do you call the 3-point contact seat belt, and to see that it is protected. And for a static pump, there is a separate safety protocol which has been developed by me, which again covers for a 8-hour session, talks about in detail about the safety pumping protocol, which is first time developed for the world when I was in last time. So which is quite elaborate on what kind of precautions to be done when you are handling a safety pump, static concrete pump, and also placer boom, which is very, very critical equipment in a job site when you are doing the concreting. Why I am sharing all these things is, as an engineer, we are all responsible that young engineers who are studying in the college should know all about that, because later once he finish either a diploma or a degree, he claims as an engineer, he is supposed to know the basic safety of all these things. That's why I thought of covering this, very important for any engineers coming out from the institution. Coming to the job site safety, position of concrete pump is very important. Approach road for the truck mixer need to be studied to see that the road is having enough rigidity to carry the 25-ton truck of material. And there are many occasions I have involved in the investigation. The truck mixer get overturning due to soil weakness or subsoil settling down. So truck mixers are failed in the job site. Negative pumping is very important. Negative pumping means whenever you are pumping concrete for basement structure, it is called negative pumping. That's what I am trying to say. There is a separate protocol for that, separate safety measures to be followed. So that is what about negative pumping. Edge protection is important. If you do not do the concrete slab, higher floors, edge protection is done, there are chances people can fall from heights and have injuries and get killed. In fact, I have dealt with one of the accident where people have fallen from 3rd floor, hit on the backbone and severely injured, and he was hospitalized for a couple of weeks, and later he survived. There are remote chances falling from heights, saving people from death. Double staging, one has to be very, very, very important. I have come across several accidents. When I say double staging, normal headroom of 10 feet is called single staging. if you are doing double staging 20 feet height for a entrance lobby area, which is called double staging. When you do the staging and scaffolding for that, there are every chance when you do the concreting, there are chances of buckling, chances of failure of all this shuttering material due to buckling. So you need to have cross bracings and robust system so that the job site safety during concreting can be exercised. And communication from pump and the pouring location is important because the pumping is going to happen very fast. If you don't do that, if you do the dump of concrete in one place, there are chances of shuttering failing in a job site, which is very important. And lighting is important in a job site. The daytime situation in a job site is completely different from the night situation. So we need to have adequate lighting where the job is being executed to see that it is illuminated properly. And the last one, and we need to be very, very cautious about the overhead electrical line. I have come across the people not taken care of safety when the truck mixer is positioned at the edge of the job site, where they climb over the cage ladder and go up on the truck mixer. There is a overhead line going, so people are getting electrocuted and having a severe injury. When the people get electrocuted, you will get an immediate heart attack and people get killed. So overhead electrical line is very important on any safety at the job site. Okay, coming back to safety while material handling. So especially the cement in the ready mix plant, invariably you will be getting cement in the bulkers, not in the bags. Similar to the job site safety, I told you, the bulkers, when it get parked in the outside the plant, there is a overhead cable passing through. We need to be very, very careful. It can be dangerous for the people when they go for sampling of bulker cement by opening the lid of the truck bulker to carry the cement. So which is very, very important. We need to be very cautious. Also, when the cement is being pneumatically unloaded to the silos, so we need to be cautious in handling the flexible hose, which can be risky with 2-bar pressure pneumatic compressor engaged for the pumping of cement. And also, people go for inspection of empty bulker when the material is unloaded to see that all the materials are removed or not. So that time they get into the thing, and there are chances they get killed inside the bulker because of less amount of oxygen available within the bulker. So we need to be careful. And also in the aggregate, when the aggregates are being brought to the ready mix plant, we used to have a tippers unloading the material in the aggregate bins. There are chances of the tipping truck overturned. There are occasions where I have experienced people need to be away from the tippers so that it avoids crushing of people by being close to the mobile equipment. And also the admixer comes in 200 liter drums in general. Otherwise, there are also bulk handling of admixer take place. Even when we are handling the admixer drum from the truck, unloading in the batching plant, there is separate procedure and protocol available. And again, transfer of admixer drum once it is emptied, we need to be very careful. There are many occasions people while handling, they just crush their legs and other things. We need to be very, very careful. So the safety training, the ready mix plant, whenever people are engaged in the business, they need to aware of the basic safety. Safety induction has to be done for the new employees. Invariably, the statistics very clearly shows that if you are not following the safety, especially the new employees, without knowing, they come across unsafe condition and do unsafe act, they get themselves injured. So that is why the toolbox talk is important. Safety induction is important. Toolbox talk is a daily thing which happens in a ready mix plant. And apart from that, batcher training and the defensive driver training for the drivers, which is very important. and concrete pump operator training and refresher training is very important. And electrical safety, people need to know the electrical safety in terms of panel labeling and type of cables that are used, where fuses are used, how the ELCB plays a very, very vital role in terms of securing, in terms of when there is electrical leakage is taking place. These things has to be taken care. And for the management team, VFL. VFL is nothing but visible felt leadership. It is a management technique. It is across the world. This is a powerful tool which is being adopted for the management team. And as a manager, as a coaching team, as a professors and lecturer, we should know what others don't know. So this you can come to know only by interaction. So this is again a separate session, how we can demonstrate both within the classroom and a practical session. The VFL session can be demonstrated to the staff and the executives within the ReadyMix plan. So with this, I am concluding the safety part of the session. So let us stay safe and stay connected and return home safely 100%. When I say 100%, and we should reach home 100%, not with little injury or whatever it is, and not carried by 4 people. Rather, we go walk through ourselves back to home. So whenever you are into a ReadyMix plant, when you are engaged in any of the ReadyMix related business, follow the safety procedures, avoid the shortcut, strictly follow the discipline and be safe. Okay, with that, I am going to the next part of my session on equipment and batching plant. So now you will be seeing more pictures and things like that, so that you will come to know what exactly a ReadyMix plant means, and how these are all helpful for implementing whatever the structural engineer designing within the office or within the technical institute, how that get implemented through this kind of batching plant. When you see the type of batching plant, it is different types based on the capacities. CP18 is a small batching plant where 0.25 cubic meter batching is done in a single batch. CP30 is a half cubic meter batching plant, and M1 is 1 cubic meter batching plant. M2 is 2 cubic meter per batching. M3 is 3 cubic meter per batching. And there are different type of compartment bins available for storing the materials. I will be showing some pictures for your better understanding. The compartment bin is there, inline bin is there, and apart from that, there are mobile batching plants also available in the industry. So this is a typical arrangement of a batching plant. If you see that this is a compact batching plant, so wherein you have a control panel at the mixer platform level. What you should see here is a mixer, and whatever the concrete getting mixed, it is getting discharged through the discharge chute. Okay, whatever you see in the pink color is what you call the skip bucket, which carries the material from the bottom and lifts up and feed to the hoppers provided in the top. And these hoppers are cement hoppers, where cement is getting connected to these hoppers. And I'll show you other better picture to show how the whole thing works. And in a nutshell, this is a compact batching plant where the batching plant manufacturers supply together as a package. So here we talk about a compartment type batching plant. So wherein you have 4 compartments, 1, 2, 3, 4 compartments. So these 4 compartments, you will have a different material, and wherein you store the aggregates and mix it with cement and cementitious material, apart from water and mixer, etc. So where the loader is, the JCB is loading the material to the aggregate compartment bins. So this is a old type of batching plant. Way forward in the year 2000, when I have installed my first batching plant, I had this kind of type, wherein you don't need any kind of a JCB for feeding the material inside the star batching. It has got 4 compartments where aggregates are directly unloaded from the trucks to these kind of bins. So I don't have a better picture to show you where these materials are stored. These are all the retaining walls where the materials are retained. And what you see is a boom and a scraper which scrap the material and feed it to the batching plant and mixed in this mixer and discharged through this discharge tube for the truck mixer. This is a silo typical arrangement with a screw conveyor. So this is the 4 compartment bin where different materials are stored and conveyed through either conveyor or directly to the front end loader. So this is another type of batching plant for quicker in construction. This is mounted on a skid foundation. That means this entire structure, what you see in the green color, along with the panel, everything manufactured from a ready-mix company, it reaches you. And you just make a raft slab so that you can just position this within few hours. The entire batching plant can be erected. You need not do bits and pieces assembled in a job site, which is going to be challenging. So even the silo which I showed you in the previous picture, these silos, whatever you see, it is a silo which is fabricated, welded, and there are silos which is available with the bolt and nut arrangement also. And these silos also can have foundation which is of mobile type, which I have executed way forward in the year 2000 when I was working for Ramco Group in Chennai. So this is the mixer which I was telling. This is a critical equipment in any batching plant. It has got 7 mixer arms. You can see this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This mixer arm, and what you see in the bottom is called a shovel. So this play a very, very vital role in terms of mixing concrete and ensure the quality of concrete is ensured. This bottom, whatever you see, it is a bottom wear plate, and what you see is a side wear plates. Due to wear and tear, these side plates and the bottom plates get replaced. Okay, and so these mixing shovels and this gap between the bottom plate and this shovel is very important, and this is important because if the gap is too much, the concrete will not get mixed. Gap is very narrow. You will find that again mixing is not take place, rubbing will take place. You need to have 1 millimeter gap precisely maintained to see that the mixing takes place properly. So this is a mixer which is opened up for your benefit. I am showing this picture. So this is a typical arrangement of a local batching plant, generally being you can see in the industry being installed. You can see different level of silos, and later part I will recollect this access cage later. You can see there is one silo separate access cage ladder. You can see that it is far away from the ground level. People will have proper access to go up on the ladder and to inspect these silos. And this arrangement, if you see, there is a silo, there is a batching plant, and the belt conveyor, all aligned in a longitudinal manner. This is one type of batching plant arrangement with the compartment bins. This is a typical batching plant dispatched from a manufacturing unit, all getting packed in a trailer truck. It reaches to the job site, and it is easy to unfold when it reaches the site. We need not have to assemble all these spare parts one by one once it reaches. So you will be engaging a telescopic crane. By lifting it, all these things can be detached, and the batching plant can be erected in a job site within few hours. It is not a complicated thing nowadays, erecting a batching plant. So this is another type of batching plant where you can see that the conveyor is made in a lateral thing based on the site layout. This is being done. Just for your understanding, I'm sharing this picture. So another type of batching plant where you have seen the compartment bin. These are all called inline bins. So if you have a more different type of material, for example, generally in a structural concrete, you will be using 20 mm, 12 mm material. Whenever you are using 40 mm material and other things, you may not find a compartment bin to store this material. In such kind of design, you can keep adding the bins and you can steal different type of material. That is why these inline bins are being common. It is also designed. So these bins are loaded through the loader, and there is a conveyor, incline conveyor, and there is a belt conveyor for feeding into the system. This is called inline compartment bins. So you can see the inline bins with a conveyor. Again, an incline conveyor carries this material, goes to the batching plant in the top, getting mixed, and cement and fly ash and other materials fed from the silo goes together, and through this discharge chute, the concrete get produced. This is another plant. You can see this plant. You can see not to the global standard, but still you can come across several batching plant being installed in and around the country. Now I am going to introduce a different mixer for your knowledge. What you have seen earlier is a pan mixer. Now I am going to introduce a twin shaft mixer. Twin shaft mixer is different from a pan mixer. So this is the twin shaft mixer in a batching plant. So what happens in a twin shaft mixer? So twin shaft mixer has got two set of horizontal shaft, twin shaft. It rotates in the direction such a way the mixing efficiency is much better in a twin shaft mixer compared to a pan mixer. That is why whenever you have a high grade concrete in your production range, you plan for a twin shaft mixer rather going for a pan mixer, which I showed you earlier. So mixing is more efficient with the same mixing time. That is why twin shaft mixer is becoming popular these days rather a pan mixer. It has a horizontal shaft while pan mixer has a vertical shaft. Okay, that is the difference between these two. Plus the mixing efficiency is much better, and equipment selection is important based on the project need. If your project needs only a low grade concrete up to M20, M25, you can do that. In fact, in my career, I have handled up to M95 grade of concrete, where we cannot deal with the pan mixer. We need to have a twin shaft mixer. Then only the mixing efficiency can be achieved. The concrete cohesiveness and concrete quality can be achieved. So far I showed you about a typical batching plant. Now I am showing you a world-class standard batching plant. Of course, it was constructed by me way forward in Nagpur in 2008. You can see these silos having access ladder right from the bottom. So we are not having each silos the ladder. So once you go up in the ladder, you can go through the common interconnection platform and come across the finish off your inspection and other things. So you can see all these silos are in one single line. So all the safety circulation, what I explained in the beginning of the presentation, all these represent this plant only. Okay. The important thing is the batcher who is doing the production, who can sitting in this cabin, he can see whatever happening inside the plant, visibly seen. Even without coming out of from his seat, he can able to see that, which is very important. And you can see, I will show you in a while the precast compartment bins and also integrated recycling tank, which is part of this plant layout, which has been done. And even the silo has got a silo measuring system, wherein without even climbing up through the cage ladder, you can avoid working at height and do the silo measuring system. And you can see the silo tops has been used for proper lighting. With this flood lighting, you can able to see the entire plant is illuminated, and replacing the bulb also easier by going up to the ladder, and there is a protecting platform. And pedestrian segregation, which I already explained in the circulation plan, and weighbridge is part of this particular layout. And we had in-house laboratory, office, and conference. To be honest with you, this entire plant, right from land acquisition, the whole plant has been commissioned by me in 50 days time. It was quite challenging, and planning is very important, and through which we can do that. Nowadays, bolted type silo also available in the industry, wherein the transportation of silos, if you want to move from one side to another side, easily it is possible. This is the plant which is world-class standard constructed by me. So this is the close view of some of the silos, and you can see the precast bins wherein it is easy to operate, and this bin width has been kept such a way the front-end loader can easily access and feed the material. So this is a typical recycler thing which I was talking in the beginning of my presentation, wherein the recycled aggregate and water was used back in the plant. And whatever you see a vertical pipe and coming this, when the truck mixer comes for unloading, they use the recycled water for washing those things. We don't waste the water, waste the fresh water for the washing of trucks. So this is the weighbridge which I showed you before. Weighbridge is very important. There are a lot of theft take place, lot of misusing of material take place. We have installed the camera, we have installed the control system wherein the raw material management and even truck mixers weighing is done through these weighbridges, and it is easy for us to show the quantity of concrete produced by showing the weighbridge slip to our customers. Weighbridges play a very, very important integral part of the equipment in a batching plant. You can see this is a typical batching plant panel, wherein you have an HT connection where all the equipments are having a proper control system, and you have a changeover wherein generator and EB power can be changed over. You have a what you call the controlling the power factor. You have a power bank also in the batching plant panel itself. So this is a typical batching plant which has been constructed by me way forward in 2007 in Raipur, Chhattisgarh. So you can see you can see multiples of bins, inline bins. You can see 5 bins. We can have more number of materials stored in these bins. And here another thing is we talk many things about temperature of aggregates while teaching the students in the college. So these aggregates temperature has to be controlled in case of hot sun, because this can cause a slump loss. And similarly, during the rainy season, if you are feeding the material with moisture or wet material, the control of water cement ratio play a very, very vital role. So by having these kind of shade covering these storage bins, we can able to protect the raw material from sun and rain at the batching plant. This is a typical batching plant with a drive-through batching plant where a truck is going from one direction, get the material and directly exit through the gate. This plant was constructed by me forward in 2007 at Raipur. By the way, I have constructed more than 50 ready-mix plants in my career for the past 20 years in the ready-mix plant, including the bunch of ready-mix plant constructed for metro projects at Noida Metro, Delhi Metro, Jaipur Metro, Mumbai Metro, even the Secretariat of Vijayawada, Andhra Pradesh Secretariat, which has been constructed by me with a set of batching plants and constructed by me. This is an integrated thing where you can see the layout is properly planned and then utilized for the thing. So this is a 2.25 cubic meter batching plant at Chhattisgarh, Raipur. So equipment selection is very important. I have gone through some of the things for the batching plant. So this is to control the capex, I mean the capital expenditure, and also should meet the customer demand. If you see the CP18 plant and CP30 plant, you cannot cater to 2 job sites at the same time because the plant capacity is very less. In that case, you have to go for an M1 plant where at least 1 cubic meter batch can be done. At the same time, you can cater to 2 pumping sets simultaneously, 2 different job sites. So meet the required quality. I talked about different kind of mixers, which is very important. And also customer get impressed when he is visiting your batching plant. He knows what kind of control facilities, what kind of raw material management that you have, what kind of safety features that you have. This is very important. This will ensure that you don't do unnecessary recurring costs, keep on adding infrastructure for your batching plant. And if you are having a proper selection of batching plant and accessories, you will have a better control on the maintenance cost. Your production cost can be optimized, and at the end of the day, your return of investment is faster. So now and so far, I am going to brief you more about truck mixers. What are all the different type of truck mixers? Truck mixers, it starts from 4 cubic meter trucks. You have 6 cubic meter trucks. There are 7 cubic meter trucks also available. People used to load in that 6 cubic meter trucks based on the design. But whereas as per RTO norms, you can carry only 6 cubic meter, because as you know, the density of concrete is 1.5 tons. So sorry, 2.5 tons. So 6 cubic meter becomes 15 tons. The truck mixer is raw material is the concrete weight is 15 tons. Truck mixer weight is 10 tons. Together 25 ton is the allowed load for the truck mixer, which is having a 3 axles. And there are truck mixers having 8 cubic meter capacity. In most of the countries, 6 cubic meter is not used. They use 10 cubic meter trucks because they have wider roads, they have wider job sites. In a single truck, 10 cubic meter is being carried. For your understanding, for a individual house, 500 square foot of a house, say 1000 square foot of 2 BHK house, you need just 2 truck mixers through which you can do the entire concrete, assuming a concrete slab thickness of say 5 inches. There are self-loading truck mixers also available, where you have challenge of using in a remote areas or a hill station. I will show you those pictures. And there are truck mixers fitted with concrete pumps also available nowadays in the industry. However, this truck mixer play a very important role to ensure the concrete quality. The internal spiral blades are very, very important to ensure the cohesiveness of concrete. And also the truck mixers indicate how the image of the business can be represented. So I'm going to share you some of the pictures of the self-loading mixers, where you can see these things, where people mechanically feed the material, manually feed this material, and that gets mixed in the drum itself, and you have a batching system arrangement. Nowadays, sophisticated PLC system of available on these kind of self-loading mixers, and these mixers get mixed thoroughly in the job site itself, and you deliver the concrete. And this is a 7 cubic meter truck, typical design, wherein you can see all this SUPD and RUPD not fitted in the standard truck. For a safety reason, we need to do that. So these are all the safety feature adopted trucks, RUPD, SUPD, and you can see the mirrors to see that the rear traffic being seen for safe operations of the truck mixers. Now, next part is we have manufactured the concrete, we have shifted the concrete. Now, how to handle the concrete in the job site? For handling concrete on the job site, concrete pump play a very vital role. So these concrete pumps used in the job site pump the concrete at different levels. Different levels, 5 floors, 10 floors, 20 floors. Even we have pumped the concrete up to 26 floors. Remember the tallest residential building in the world happening in Mumbai. It is called concrete. Grade concrete. Concrete was pumped up to 126 floors. There we have used some pumping mast. I will show you those pictures later. So we need to handle the concrete quickly to release the truck mixer. That's why we use the concrete pumps. There are different type of pumps available. I will explain to you in a short while. And to minimize the labor in the job site, we use the concrete pumps. And even to avoid truck mixer, there are some projects where we avoid the truck mixer, straight away handle pumps and pump the concrete to the job site. I'll show you some of the pictures of that as well. So these are all the different type of static concrete pumps. If you see, this is a 350 model pump where you can use the pump for up to 5 floor height comfortably. And if you see these pumping concrete, practically you can pump about 6 cubic meter to 7 cubic meter per hour, considering the finishing and all those things. But nevertheless, the pumping capacity is even you can pump up to 30 cubic meter per hour. So this pump is adopted for up to 10 floors, 1,400 type of pump model, and wherever you got high grade concrete and also for higher pumping altitudes, different pumps are available. So these pumps cannot move by itself. You need a towing vehicle to move from one pump from one job site to another job site. Okay, and there are certain pumps available fitted in the truck itself. This is a mobile concrete pump. The project which I was telling about, the high-rise building where I use the pumping mast, where these kind of pumps are connected to this mast in the ground level and pumped to the required floor. So this is the pumping mast. And wherever you got a concrete site, especially for a piling work and where concrete pipeline cannot be laid, so in this kind of situation, concrete pumps are available fitted with a conveyor, and piling work and challenging position where you lay a pipeline for a footing concrete and other things, where these kind of thing, this conveyor get unfolded and you pump the concrete and send it through that. So these are all the concrete pumps for special applications. And there are special boom placers are available. Sometimes we call it as boom pump. It is all with the different capacities I have shown. This goes for about 3-storied building. 36 meter means boom length is 36 meters and boom length is 43 meters. Different capacities available, where these are all generally used for bridge construction, where you have inverted beams and where you want to do a quick pumping. These pumps are all even pumping output, you can see 138 cubic meter per hour, huge. So one truck mixer 6 cubic meter, you can unload very quickly. In fact, sometime back, way forward in 2002, I did a concrete for a VIP, Commissioner of Police in Chennai, where his project had a 2,000 square foot of house, 4 truck mixers, all the entire concreting I have completed in 40 minutes of time. So 4 truck mixers just unloaded by using these kind of laser pumps. These are all for quick pumping. So this is a typical pump. You can see underneath the batching plant, this pump is positioned, and you are avoiding the truck mixer and pumping directly to the job site, which is adjoining to the batching plant itself. So this is another way of doing smartly, eliminating the transportation cost of the concrete. Okay, now next topic is about raw material. So all you guys are quite familiar about mixed design and other things. So what are all the different type of raw material we use in the concrete? So we use cement, fly ash, GGBS, ground granulated blast furnace slag. Nowadays, ultra fine GGBS is also available. This acts as a replacement for the microsilica. Microsilica is expensive. To replace that, ultra fine GGBS is available. These are all the cement and cementitious material. And coming to aggregates we use 40 mm, 20 mm, 12 mm. Even we are using chips also for micro concrete. So with regard to fine aggregate, we use river sand. Of course, nowadays river sand is banned. We use crushed sand and the M sand. Wherever M sand is not available, we use the crushed sand. We are also using steel slag wherever economics are seen. And as per the IS guidelines, we are using. Nowadays, the recycled aggregates also becoming popular. Recycled aggregate replacement is also permitted as per the IS code these days, and you can use that and mix the concrete. Apart from that, admixture and retarder is a big topic. I'm not going to cover in detail about this admixture retarder. So we are using that as one of the raw material. Apart from that, we are also using some special material for specialized concrete like fibers, Recron fibers, polyurethane beads, and we also use steel fibers for industrial flooring, etc. And also we use lightweight aggregates and polyurethane beads for the lightweight concrete. And for the stamping concrete, we use inoculate pigments. We are using it. In terms of water, we use normal water, we use recycled water. In case of recycled water, sometimes you will have a pH value of say 10, 11, even sometimes it is completely alkaline in nature. And we mix with the fresh water, and recycled water is 30% used, 40% used, and used in concrete. Wherever chilled water is not available, we use ice for the temperature control concrete. But chilled concrete using is smart way of doing in terms of temperature control concrete. In fact, for a project in Vijayawada, I have used chill plant and could able to supply a mega project without any concrete rejection, using a proper chilled water tank and the designing of the thing. But you guys are very expert in terms of mixed design. But with the mixed design combination of all these materials, we can do wonders. For your information, industry is common in using OPC cement, OPC fly ash combination, OPC fly ash GGBS combination, OPC fly ash GGBS and microsilica combination. All this the combination is being used for optimizing the mixed design and producing different grades of concrete. Now, next topic is on quality of concrete. So, I wish to highlight some of the key factors on cement. Be aware, most of the ready-mix plant use cement directly from the cement plant produced, and it reaches, invariably it will have a temperature, high temperature. And sometimes if you don't take adequate care in terms of temperature of the cement used in the concrete, there are chances your slump loss take place. You need to be careful when you are taking some bagged cement. Age of cement is very important. If you don't have a control on that, you can have a problem on quality of concrete. Consistency test is the quick test which is being done on cement to know the compatibility, to know the performance of the cement. But one thing I tell you, don't blame any cement. Cement by itself is right as per IS, but you need to see that proper compatibility of the admixture, and see that it is trial mix done in the laboratory, and ensure that when you change the brand of cement, you take care of the compatibility. Is very important. Mixing with other material in the bulker is highly possible. Please note that the bulker nowadays carrying cement, on the return trip it is carrying fly ash, sometime in the GGBS also, based on the thermal power plant available. If the bulker is not properly unloaded, if there is a bulker retaining some portion of fly ash that delivered in the cement plant, in the ready-mix plant, you will have a quality issues. Be aware of that. We need to be very careful. Compatibility with the admixture, I already briefly explained to you. Fineness is very important, because sometimes the fineness varies also behave the cement behavior. So accelerated curing, invariably for doing the trial, we use the accelerated curing tank. We use the standard curve available in the IS code, but make sure when you are using the curve, maybe you need to have your own curve for having blended cement, like double blending or triple blending, etc., for having your own projected 28 days strength using the accelerated curing tank. And whenever you use the admixture, the solid content is very important. You need to do a quick test. If the solid content is different, your performance of admixture will vary. And mixing and ensuring the mixing of admixture before feeding into the batching plant, or changing one drum to another drum, is very important. And even the bulk tank where you are using admixture, you need to have a proper mixing and stirring arrangement. And make sure, sometimes we will have a separately retarders, separately admixtures. By mistake, in place of admixture, if you use retarder, concrete will not set. So labeling of retarder play a very, very vital role to ensure the concrete quality is achieved. Otherwise, the concrete will not set. There are many occasions people make this mistake and damage the concrete. And if concrete doesn't set, you have to sometimes demolish the whole concrete laid at the job site. Coming to the raw material fly ash, you need to be careful about the unburned carbon and pond ash, especially when there is a thermal plant shutdown. People tend to supply fly ash, and you need to be very careful about the pond ash. And nowadays, classified fly ash is also available, wherein the quality is much better when used in the concrete. And as I already mentioned, GGBS and ultra-fine GGBS is also being used in the ready-mix concrete. And the good thing is about GGBS, it is manufactured from raw slag from the steel cement plant, where you can have a more than 50-60% of GGBS replacement, whereas fly ash is almost around 30%. So that is the thing. With regard to aggregate, we use crush sand and M sand. Be careful. Many people supply naming as M sand by still give the crush sand. You need to ensure the particle size distribution, water absorption, which is very important. And as I showed you some picture about the moisture correction, when you don't have a proper storage arrangement where the aggregate are stored, moisture correction is very important when you do the production. There are moisture corrections available within the batching plant also, but my experience, it is not that effective using the moisture probes batching plant. It is better to check the moisture frequently whenever there is a monsoon, whenever there is a hot sun. You can see that moisture is checked and corrected then and there in the batching plant. With regard to water, I talked about the recycled water and chilled water. And with all that, for ensuring the quality of concrete, calibration of batching plant is very important. If you don't do periodical batching plant calibration, there are chances you will not get desired concrete quality, which is very important. So, though the statutory rule says you can do batching plant calibration once in a year, my strong feeling, my advice to all of you is calibration to be done only once in a month at least, to see that we produce the concrete without any quality problem. How truck mixer play a very vital role in quality? Before loading the concrete, the truck mixer gets washed away. If the washing truck mixer properly not drained, if the water is retaining in the truck mixer, that can cause about the quality changes. So make sure that drum rotation, drum cleaning is very important. And during transit also, the truck mixer should keep rotating to see that quality is ensured. Water is available within any transit mixer. Water leakage should not be there. If it is leaking, that can also cause the concrete quality problem. Invariably, some customer, they want to add waterproof chemical at the job site. Be cautious. That may also have some retarder. If you are not doing proper trial mix, it can also have a setting issues. Take care of that. Also, redosing of admixer is recommended. It is highly possible in ready mix business, but make sure you are using proper control without mixing too much of admixers when you do the redosing. And also there could be some delay due to traffic and truck mixer breakdown. These are all some places where quality of concrete get affected due to truck mixers. Coming to post-concreting, curing is very important for concrete. I need not educate you on curing, but be aware, my experience says, whenever you do weekend concreting on a Saturday night, following day the engineer don't turn up, you leave it to the laborers at the site, it can cause concrete curing issues and it can have a strength issues. And followed by that, you will have shrinkage issues, and that can cause problem. So whenever you use ready-mix concrete, it is suggested early curing, maybe by damping the concrete once the initial setting time is over, and also finishing with the power flow, we can avoid these kind of shrinkage cracks. And pumping concrete, so whenever you do a negative pumping, there are chances of segregation of concrete. You need to have a proper pipeline alignment. Again, it's a big topic, so I'm not covering today. So that need to be followed to ensure that negative pumping quality is taken care. Lubrication of pumps. There are pumps, the pumps such as it's also available for lubricating pumps. At times, many of the times we do cement bags mixed with water for lubricating the pumps before pumping the concrete. Leaking of pump joints can also cause your slump loss, also your slurry loss, which can cause problem to the concrete. Number of bends that you are using in the concrete pipe alignment can also cause problem during pumping concrete. Position of concrete pump is very important to get the proper concrete produced in the batching plant. Okay. There is a mistake. Instead of making types of concrete, I wrongly put type of quality. Types of concrete. It's a standard concrete, self-compacting concrete, lightweight concrete, structural lightweight concrete, temperature controlled concrete, high-grade concrete, micro concrete. Micro concrete are produced with fine material for repairing works, and fiber reinforced concrete, slow setting concrete. Regarding slow setting concrete, I'll tell you my experience in Mumbai. See, Mumbai traffic is heavy. During the day, traffics are not allowed for delivering the concrete. We supply concrete in the night time. To avoid cold joints, what we do, few trucks where the cold joint is there, we'll send the slow setting concrete, so that after 12 hours, when we do a fresh set of concrete, so bonding issue is taken care. And this dry concrete is popular in other countries where supply of concrete takes place 40-50 kilometers away also. It's being done. And bag concrete was developed by me, where bags concrete, like cement bag concrete is being supplied in a wet condition to the job site, where I have supplied to islands, hilltops, and narrow streets, and small concrete for a 10-story building, for a small penthouse repairing and other things, where bag concrete is supplied by me. These are all different types of concrete. Now, before we go to a quality, the question answer session, I want to talk about the ready-mix concrete business. It is a big opportunity for young engineers, and it is faster in construction for sure, and mix can be better controlled, and minimum supervision required. Unlike those days, we cannot have so many engineers. Engineer demand is also there, and high-grade concrete is possible only in terms of this kind of batching plant and print shop mixer, which I already explained to you. And industry is fast growing. We need to complete the projects like tunneling and bridges and kind of IT parks. So for all those things, this kind of batching plant very important. Innovations can be implemented. It is not possible in conventional concrete. The labor challenge is huge. And the people travel across country. Bihari people, Bengali people, and Orissa people travel across the country for the construction industry. Triple blending of cementitious material highly possible in terms of cost control and mix design implementation. It is possible in the ready-mix plant. And cost-effective mix design, whatever you design by the design engineers, it is possible by doing wave batching in the batching plant. I tell you, this coaching and training for these young engineers coming out from these colleges, both diploma and engineering college, they have to have this knowledge of ready-mix concrete, and which is important not only for the young engineers, also for the teaching professionals, for getting more knowledge transfer to the students. So for the young engineers, there is a big opportunity on different business in terms of sales engineer, quality engineer, operation engineer, pumping engineer, and these ready-mix business do not have any entry barrier. You can also become an entrepreneur and set up your own ready-mix plant. And these ready-mix plant can be installed in 30 days time. Okay, it is highly suitable for township and for captive projects. and in common, this ready mix plant is day-to-day requirement in any developed countries. Still, it is becoming popular in India in second tier and third tier cities. So this is my conclusion for ready mix business, and I want to have good interaction with you all, and wish to have more interaction and doubts that you have, and then we can discuss in detail. Now over to QA session. Before that, I'll just sharing my name, mobile number, and email ID. Those who wish to note down, and because some of the topics I am rushing faster because to cover most of the things in one session of 2 hours for the teaching population in the country. So now let me go to the QA session. Let me stop presenting right now.
Thank you, Muralidharan sir, for your valuable presentation
Yeah.
on the topic ready mix concrete. So
it is
sir
now
covered
time for question and answer.
aspect of. Okay, sir. Thank you. He covered elaborately different perspectives on ready mix concrete. The different what are the batching plants and machineries, equipments, and how to maintain quality, and what are the different types of concretes and raw materials, admixtures, etc. So he has elaborately covered on the different perspectives of this ready mix concrete. So thank you very much, Muralidharan sir. Now the participants are required to make any clarifications. If you are having any doubts in this, and if you want any clarifications, kindly ask Mr. Muralidharan sir. Thank you.
So somebody has asked Mr. Gangadhara. He's asked about what is the cost of 3 cubic meter batching plant. 3 cubic meter batching plant cost you around 1.8 crores roughly, and it all depends what are all the things additionally you need apart from the batching plant. So I hope I clarified the thing for Mr. Gangadhara. And yeah, any other questions from the participant side?
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I am Tamilmani.
Yeah.
So my
Hello,
question is, what are the disadvantages of this ready-mix plant, ready-mix concrete, sir? Whether we will maintain 100% quality, sir, and also another question is also, we will ensure the separation of controlling of segregation of particles, that is concrete.
Yeah. So ready mix is always possible when you are using high grade concrete. It is not possible in a conventional way. If you are pumping the concrete properly, that means quality is maintained. So regarding the raw material quality, I explained in detail in terms of storage, in terms of mixing, in terms of mixing shovel, in terms of truck mixers. If any stage of supplying ready mix concrete, if there is a flaw, if there is a mistake, that can reflect on pumping concrete, or that can reflect on quality of concrete. Segregation take place for several reasons. If your mix design is wrong, it can also cause segregation. If the raw material changes take place, if you are not correcting the thing, it can have segregation. If you are not doing a moisture correction, it can again take segregation. So it all depends on, you need to have a SOP or a procedure on entire quality assurance management for the ready mix plant. Then only you can get the concrete.
Thank you, sir. Very nice presentation, sir.
Thanks, Samini. See this,
Dear
yeah.
participants, Sir Muralidharan sir is having vast experience in the field of ready mix concrete. So utilize this opportunity to clarify your doubts regarding Readymix Concrete. Is the right person. So having any clarification you want. So whatever he has covered in this seminar or not, beyond that you can ask questions. He is having a vast potential. So when I inquired with, when I talked with him, discussed with him, so yes, I understand that he is having vast potential in the area of ready-mix concrete, manufacturing, equipments, and business also, marketing, business, everything. So if you're having any doubts and queries, please use this opportunity. Thank you.
In fact, Nagarajan, the bag concrete was quite popular. I have introduced in the year 2015. It was the unique thing in the ready mix industry, and also temperature controlled concrete, structural lightweight concrete. We have also used structural lightweight aggregates for specific application in Surat and Pune. We have used that. Yeah. And I will tell you guys, this ready mix industry has got a lot of opportunity. I still remember I have taken some of the people from the teaching industry also for ready mix business. They joined in the QC function. Later, they have become very good engineers. They have become very good managers, and they have grown up in the ladder. It is highly challenging industry, but opportunities are big. See, I can give you some example. If you are engaged in a project, say for a 2 crore project, you can able to perform within the 2 crores in that project only. In case of ready mix plant, you have multiple problems of hundreds of site in a month. So you need to handle all those things and then supply the concrete and ensure the quality. It's not an easy thing. It's a tough job, but end of the day, you can probably say that you have done a lot of historical building in your lifetime. Yeah. Any other questions?
Participants, you're having no doubts, no clarifications, so we can close the session. So thank you, sir, Muralidharan sir. So,
Thank you very much.
Accepting our webinar, and you are given a valuable lecture, very good delivery, sir. Thank you very much for your presentation, sir.
Thank you very much. Thanks all the participants, and reach out in case if I can help you out further. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. For tomorrow's participants, tomorrow we are having a first session at 9 o'clock. So 9 to 11 and 11:15 to 1:15 another second session. And again 2:15 to 4:15 third session. So morning 2 sessions, afternoon 1 session. So we will close the tomorrow's class program at 4:15 p.m. Thank you. So if you are having any clarifications or any points, you can ask now, and otherwise we can close the session now. So if you want any clarifications, sir, or any queries, please ask now. Otherwise, we close.
Sir, good afternoon. Sir.
Okay, sir, very good evening to all.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, my name is Shivakumar.
Anyone. Okay, sir.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Hello, sir. Hello.
Okay, sir. Okay, tell me, sir.
Hope I am audible to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Very good afternoon, sir. This is Mahesh from Mysore, sir. I'm associate in the Department of Civil Engineering, VVC Mysore. So,
Okay.
could you please share all the PPT of all the 3 sessions on daily basis, sir? At the
Okay,
end
sir.
of-
We will arrange for that.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
It will be
We'll
helpful.
arrange that.
So try to share. If not on immediately after the session, at least at the end of the day.
Okay, sir. Anyway,
Okay.
we will try. We'll send. We'll collect the PPTs
Okay,
and
sir.
send. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.